Live from John Ryan Stadium, it's the Crescent City Sports Prep Summer League. Tonight is a matchup of North Shore versus South Shore as St. Paul's-based Calcutta Gold takes on Jesuit-based Retif Oil. And a pleasant good evening to you, Ken Trahan, joined by Coach Danny Ream, the Gibbs Construction Cardinals. And we are so grateful that you've joined us on a sunny, warm evening in Metairie as the Crescent City Sports Prep Summer League continues with year number 4 in midstream with a couple of good programs, a couple of good schools as Jesuit-based Retif Oil hosts St. Paul's-based Calcutta Gold. Danny, 2 good programs. I mean, when you think about high school baseball, St. Paul's won a state championship in 2019. Jesuit won one most recently in 2023. These are 2 really good schools and 2 excellent programs.
Absolutely. The North Shore against the South Shore here at John Ryan tonight. Really good programs. St. Paul's is always in the mix, always have been a solid 5A program over there in Covington, and then obviously Jesuit Retif Oil always in the mix as well. So this should be a great summer league game. You know, people always want to know, how are you going to be next year? Who you got coming up? Well, the best way to find out is to come watch the Crescent City Sports Summer League. You'll see it. This is it. This is the future.
Well, with that, let's take a look at the current standings. Now, we have a record 21 schools in our league this year, and we have a junior varsity league as well that consists of 19 of those schools. But on the varsity level, here's a look at the standings, the top 12 teams in the standings right now, and you can see Retif Oil right at the top, tied with Malcolm M. Dinas, based at Archbishop Rummel. Brother Martin-based Case for Kids also undefeated, and Cypress Physical Therapy and Lutcher knocking on the door at 5-1. River Ridge Patriots at 4-2. Then Terrebonne, first year in the league. Great to have Julio Archilla's team in here. Mandeville with Brady Benoit, Gulf Coast Lending Services. United Rentals at De La Salle. And congratulations to Charlie Hassinger, our friend, for getting the job there. Well deserved. Podsteins and Coach Benora, Gulf Coast Bank and Chalmette, Doug Faust, Peyton Falgout Band and Riverside and Jay Falgout and Calcutta Gold and St. Paul's. We're ready to go here, starting early. And leading it off will be the shortstop, Cooper Bertrand, and the first pitch of the ball game on the way, and that's low and in for ball 1. So they start at 6:24, a few minutes early, but that's okay. Bertrand at the plate for the St. Paul's-based Calcutta Gold team. Here's the 1-0 pitch on the way. That's grounded to third. Backing up to Lat, fields it, throws it low, wide, safe at first. That's an error, and that's the way this ball game starts on an E5 as Bertrand is able to reach. The lineup includes Bertrand. Brady Boudery is at second base. Brennan Villa in right field. Easton Springman, Villa in left field. Springman in right field. Clay Sims does the catching. It's John Marciante, the DH. Reese DeVille at third base. Reed Montgomery, the extra hitter. Carter Stevens in center field. Jude Reason is at first base. That's the lineup as they bat 10. McGee, the pitcher, and a swing and a foul right side out of play. It's no balls and 1 strike. Calvin McGee, the right-hander. Tell you about his numbers coming up. Check of the runner first. Stretch pitch high. Count is even at a ball and a strike on Brady Boudery. Boudery at 500 here in the Summer League with 2 RBI. Returning starter from their prep squad. Swinging a foul back. And it's 1 ball and 2 strikes on Brody Boudery. Brody going into his senior season. They have a lot of players that just came off their junior years on this Calcutta Gold roster. One of the experienced teams in this league. Stretch pitch. Breaking ball beat up the middle. Hit off the back of the mound. That's going to be trouble. And it's going to be an infield hit. Well, that looked like a double play ball, Danny, but just a fortunate break for Boudery and a bad break for the Retif team as that ball hit the back of the mound and dipped straight up.
Yeah, that's tough luck. You were exactly correct on your assessment that was a double play ball taken Sirio. Should have been taken Sirio up the middle. And it just went up in the air. And by the time he got it and got rid of it, there was no way you were throwing the runner out at first. So St. Paul's with a good start here. Both guys on to lead off the game.
Brennan Villa, the batter. And he takes a strike. It is 0-1 on Brennan. Brennan Villa is hitting .375, 2 RBI in the Summer League. Calcutta Golden team has only played 4 games. They've had a few rainouts. Weather's been an issue thus far this summer. Swing and a miss. Good off-speed pitch. Had him well out in front, Dan.
Yeah, had him way out in front there, and that's something that McGee's going to have to do against his St. Paul's lineup here tonight, is change speeds. He's done a good job so far of running his fastball in on their hands. They haven't really hit him hard, just a couple tappers on the infield, but they've got runners at first and second.
Calvin, a junior, is ready. Stretch pitch. Outside with a fastball. A ball and 2 strikes.
McGee's going to have to try to work out of this. Best way to do it would be to get another ground ball somewhere and hope this infield can turn 2 for you.
Bertrand second, Bootery first. McGee brings it. Breaking ball beat foul. So we'll do it again. Turf surface here at John Ryan Stadium, where it's 320 to left field. And it is 375 to left center, 400 to center, 370 to right center, and 325 down the right field line. Not symmetrical. Shaped the way it is to accommodate football and soccer here as well. People have asked that question since we opened the stadium, you might recall, back in 2012 when we did the first game here. That pitch misses away. It's a long time ago. Doesn't seem like it, right? We did the first game ever here. Jesuit Holy Cross. Back in those days with our website and on television.
It's amazing.
13 years
later.
later.
I know. It's amazing it's that long ago.
It is.
Hard to believe.
2-2 the count. Stretch pitch. Towards short,
There
another
it
double
is.
play ball. Flip to second one. Back to first 2. They turn it. This time, lead runner gets the third, 2 out. So there's the 6-4-3 double play. Sirio Delat Bosco. Well done, Danny.
Yeah, that's exactly what the doctor ordered. As I had just said, the best way for McGee to try to get out of this is to get this right here. Sirio to Delat over to first. Big double play. Now St. Paul's goes from first and second. Nobody out to man on third with 2 outs. So a completely different top of the first now.
Easton Springman, the right fielder, standing in. Springman at 375 would, or rather 364. He has a home run. He's driven in 6 runs, which is a team high, and he takes a strike at his 0-1. Again, only 4 games played, so 6 RBI tells you. Easton's been all that. He's their cleanup hitter. And going into his senior season, on the prep level, takes it away for a ball. It's 1 ball and 1 strike. Just underway at John Ryan Stadium, where the lights are on to start the ball game on a warm but pleasant evening in Metairie. Nice to say that with the rain we've seen in recent weeks. Towards short, third baseman will have to cut this off. He does. Gloves and throws and got his man. Delat takes care of Springman. No runs, 1 hit, 1 error, and 2 men left. So we're on to the bottom of the first inning with no score. Good job by McGee. Pitched around the error and the bad bounce single.
He got nothing but ground balls on the infield the whole inning, so that shows you the quality of Calvin McGee on the mound for Retif here tonight. You got to love it. Pitching to contact, letting guys put the ball in play, and letting those infielders do what they do best. As an infielder, you love guys that involve you in the game, and that's what McGee did right there in the top of the first. And very impressive to see him have some tough luck to open things up with the first 2 runners reaching, and then get that double play ball on the Jesuit infield, and then gets another one to Jace Delat over at third, who made a really nice throw in that one to kind of make up for that first play in the top of the first with the leadoff hitter.
And the Blue Jay lineup. Retif Oilers has Griffin Gendron in left field. Michael Brothers in center. Joe Bosco plays first base. Cleanup hitter DH Logan Nelson. Marshall Sirio, the shortstop, hits 5th. Derek Delat, the second baseman, at 6th. Austin Gedry catches and hits 7th. Brennan Johnson is in right field hitting 8th. And Jace Delat, the third baseman, bats 9th for Retif Oil. And St. Paul's will have Sammy St. Pierre on the mound. So St. Pierre, the pitcher for the Wolves. St. Pierre on the year in the Summer League. Only 1 game appeared in. He's 1-0 with a perfect earned-run average, and he's perfect. 4 innings, no hits, no runs, no walks, 5 strikeouts. That would be a 0.0 ERA and a 0.0 whip. It doesn't get much better than that.
Absolutely not. This will be fun to watch him throw here tonight.
Sammy St. Pierre finishes his warm-up tosses. He's going into his senior season. On the field for St. Paul's, Villa left, Stevens center, Springman right. DeVille third, Bertrand short, Boudery second, Reason first with Sims catching Sammy St. Pierre. Ready to go here in the bottom of the first inning, and Griffin Gendron will lead it off for Retif. Oh, boys, he had a good summer. 538 with no homers and 4 RBIs. And Gendron has been all that for this team going into his senior year. Gendron from the right side. Gets out of a bit of a crouch, always working from the stretch. St. Pierre brings the first one, and he slings it for a strike over the outside edge. Time call for the moment. Outfielders will always play shallow in this big ballpark. Light wind blowing. It's across toward left and slightly out. There's another good pitch for a strike, so quickly 0-2. Both teams wearing their royal blue tops here this evening. School colors. 0-2. Breaking ball beat up the middle. Nice play by St. Pierre. Flips to first for the out. He not only elevates Danny, but the reason he's able to is because he ended up in a really good position to field the baseball. He
sure did, and got up in the air a little bit to pull that one in. Get the nice comebacker to start things off here in the bottom of the first.
Center fielder.
So
timed his leap perfectly there.
You know, as we talked about with his numbers, you've got a big-time strike thrower here, so Jesuit's going to have to really work.
Michael Brothers, good player in prep, center fielder, left-handed hitter. Takes a breaking ball that's high. 1-0 to Brothers going into his senior season. 353 with 3 RBI here in the summer. 1-0. Swing and a ball hit pretty well on the right center field. Center fielder has room and making the catch is Stevens for out number 2.
And that's the thing, you know, this ballpark is so big, and it's definitely plays to the pitcher and the defense. And with a strike throw on the mound like St. Paul's has, you can give Retif trouble here. They're going to have to really earn what they get because he's not going to give you any freebies. He's going to let you hit the ground balls and the fly balls, and this place can be tough to score in.
Joe Bosco, the first baseman, another starter in prep this past season. Now a senior from this coming school year. Takes it over but low. Bosco, strong young man, 6'2", 205. Saw a lot of him this past season. He's hitting .500 in the summer, and he's got a home run and 10 driven in. So he's had a big summer thus far. For Retif, swing and a miss. Good breaking ball, had him out in front. Bosco, big swing, committed early. Count even. One pitch. Breaking ball down and out, 2-1. Not a fast worker. I do like the pitch clock in baseball now on the college and pro level. I think it's helped the game. I think virtually everyone has adjusted to it very well. Outfield shifts to straight away now. Instructions from the dugout. And the 2-1 just missed down and out. So it's 3-1 to Bosco. There's a good take there. Looking for a pitch he can drive on 3-1. He has the power to hit the ball over the heads of these outfielders who, again, are not going to play deep. Here's the 3-1. Swinging a ground ball is short. Bertrand picks it, sets and guns, got his man. And both pitchers looking good in the first inning. Nothing across. We've played one. There is no score here at John Ryan Stadium. Oh, you got your first look at St. Pierre, Danny. As advertised, he's around the plate.
Yep, throwing a lot of strikes, letting his defense make plays for him, and that's the way to pitch, especially in this ballpark. It's not a park where you're afraid to let guys make contact. You know, you can feel pretty comfortable in this park pitching to contact and letting the defense make plays.
On the field defensively, set it for the Oilers. John Draw left, Brothers center, and Johnson at right. It's Delat at third, Sirio short, the second baseman. Or rather, at third base, pardon me, is Jace Delat, and the second baseman is Derek Delat. Always have to differentiate. Bosco at first with Gedry catching, and McGee on the mound for Retif Oil. McGee back to the mound after throwing 15 pitches in the first, 10 of which were strikes. And here in the second inning for the Wolves, Clay Sims will start it. John Marciante and Reese DeVille to follow. Bring this to Mr. DeGate up there. So here we go in the top of the second inning. And again, you'll note that the Calcutta goal team is hitting 10. We allow that in the summer. You can hit as many as you want, and it's called an extra hitter. This is a development league. And if that's the opportunity to get people playing time and get them at bats, that's the whole concept of this league that we've been proud to be part of. There's a breaking ball down and out for ball one.
Yeah, it's a great thing to do in the summertime to get those extra at-bats, get to see more guys. So that's really helpful, a 10-man lineup for these high school coaches to evaluate in the summertime.
Pitch missing down. It's 2-0 to Clay Sims. Hitting 300 with 2 RBI. Missing down and in. So now 3 balls and no strikes. Had the first 2 on in the first, but a double play ball short-circuited the inning for the Wolves. Has to throw a strike and cannot. So a 4-pitch walk to Sims to start the top of the second inning.
Well, back-to-back innings, but St. Paul's getting the leadoff man on. We'll see if they can take advantage of it this time around.
Now John Marciante, the designated hitter, will stand in.
Brady Bordes running at first base.
Bordes will run at first base.
The batter is number 23, John Marciante.
So Bordes runs at first. Pitch is way high, so 5 straight out of the zone from Calvin McGee.
And McGee needs to get back to where he was in the first inning, where he's pitching to contact, getting those ground balls on his infield.
And misses. No, he got a strike call. Throw to first. Runner safe. Had the delayed call. But it's a strike, and it's 1-1. Gedry came up throwing behind Bordes. Bosco, the first baseman, knocked it down. Straight away defensively. Oilers looking for the double play ball once again. Pitch misses down, then a good read by Sims will get him to second base. And that's all about reading it, Danny. He read it right away. There was no hesitation.
Yeah, no hesitation. There can't be. I talk about that all the time with base runners. If you hesitate, shut it down. That's got to be a read that you see it and you go. And that's a nice job by the courtesy runner to come in, sees the ball down, gets away from the catcher, moving on up. Now he's in scoring position with nobody out.
Chance for Marciante. And a pickoff throw to second is wide. Runner's going to head for third. The throw is not in time. So an error, the second of the game, this time on the pitcher. And now a runner at third. So 2 errors already on Retif Oil. Don't see that very often from this team, especially in this ballpark where they play extremely well.
Tried to pick off the second, and the throw was just way wide.
Pitch is fouled back off the fists with that pitch.
Yeah, that's one thing that I've noticed with McGee. He is not afraid to throw in the inner third, and that's a great place to pitch.
Count even at 2-2 now. Scoreboard has it wrong. They're going to fix that.
Usually high school hitters are going to have a little flaw here and there, and if you can run that ball in on the inner third, you usually have good luck with it.
And he hits the
But
batter.
he plunked him, and that's one of the things that when you throw on the inner third, it is going to happen, and not in a good spot right now. That is not something that you wanted to see happen right here with a man on third, nobody out. Now first and third, nobody out.
So they had first and second no outs in the first, have first and third no one out here in the second inning. Mike Scanlon, the head coach of the St. Paul's program now, his first year as a head coach. Was the head coach at De La Salle, left to go to St. Paul's as a top assistant and became the head coach at the end of this past prep season. Excellent coach.
Third baseman.
Fine gentleman.
Reese
Appreciate
DeVille.
Mike. The bullpen is going to stir for Retif Oil. They're going to send someone down to start getting loose. Runners lead from the corners. Pitch on the way. Swing and a pop-up. Right side is playable. First baseman comes up the line and making the catch is Bosco in fair territory. One pitch, one out. And that's a big out for McGee.
That's a huge out because with the double play still being in order, once again, as bad as this inning has looked thus far, he is a pitch away from getting out of it.
Number 13,
He needed the double play ball in the first, and he needs it again right here in the second.
Here's Reed Montgomery, the extra hitter in the lineup. 2 for 3 in the summer. The left-hand hitter takes it down for a ball. Reed Montgomery going into his senior season. Sims third. And Bordes has a ground ball right side to second. The play is going to be to first for the out, and a run scores, and it's a 1-0 lead for Calcutta. Goal. Good situational hitting by Reed Montgomery.
Yeah, pulled it enough to where Derek DeLatte's only play was to go to first base and get the second out there. So St. Paul's takes advantage of that leadoff man reaching here in the second.
So a 1-0 ball game. And now Kenny Goodlett is making his way to the mound. Bullpen has gotten busy. So this is just a maintenance visit and also to give some time to the pitcher in the bullpen to get himself loose. Just got started a minute or so ago. It's a big right-hander, can tell you that.
And Jesuit, Retif Oil not in a bad spot right now. St. Paul's obviously just scored one, but you got to score one no matter what. You never worry about the ones. You worry about the 4s and 5s and 6s. But they're in position to kind of get out of a jam here with 2 outs now. Just a good pitch and a good defensive play away from getting back into their dugout, getting the sticks back in their hands. So we'll see if McGee can work out of this. And, it won't be that big of a deal. You've only given up one so far.
Jacob Chan warming in the bullpen. He just got a lot of time to get loose there with that visit, which was a large purpose of that visit. You're a coach. It's what you do when you're trying to get somebody ready.
Yeah, just going out there, calming your pitcher down, kind of probably letting them know what I just said, that, hey, we got a chance to get out of this without anything real bad happening to us. Make a key pitch right here, get us in the dugout, but it's also giving the bullpen time to get going.
Carter Stevens bats, and he gets hit by a pitch. So 2 hit batters and a walk in the inning, and the bases are juiced here with 2 outs. McGee continues to struggle with his command here in the second inning.
You got to throw strikes here. They're going to score more than one. But the good thing is that with 2 outs, you've got forces anywhere you need it on the field to get out of the inning.
Pitch is swung on and popped up by Reason, left side, and it will be out of play. It's no balls and a strike.
The batter is first baseman Jude Reason.
So here's Reason. Time called by the hitter. Took it up in the zone. Count even at 1-1. And that missed away, so it's 2-1. Big opportunity here for the Wolves, if they can capitalize on the walk-in two-hit batsman. McGee trying to get out of it without any deep damage done. Foul back, 2-2. So 2 balls and 2 strikes. Left-hand hitter back in. Two. Missed inside, not far enough for the runner at third to try to advance. Gentry got a piece of it and was able to get to it. But now it's 3-2 with 2 outs. So we'll get the merry-go-round here in motion. McGee really fighting himself to find command here in the second inning after he looked good in the first. Runners will go, and a swing and a hard hit ball is second. Play to second, back to first, and they got it. Double play. Well done. Second double play turn in the game, and that is huge for the Oilers. So a run scores on the inning without the benefit of a hit, and 2 men left. They've stranded 4. We go to the bottom of the second, and it's 1-0. Calcutta goal on top. Well, double
for some reason, Ken, and I just got a text from somebody in the stadium. On the play when it looked like DeLatte fielded the ground ball and went to first for the out, the runner stayed at first. There was only 1 out right there. I don't think many people even realized it.
No, that completely caught us off guard. So Montgomery stayed at first. He did.
Yeah, and I don't know why, unless it was catcher's interference at the plate, but the umpire didn't make any call that would have brought your attention to that.
And we did not get an explanation.
No.
So, but the bases were loaded. There was only 1 out, but nothing happened nonetheless because the double play was during the second of the game.
Yep. McGee living on the edge but pitching around it with double play balls.
Yeah, I'd love to find out what happened there. So, I mean, they took the out at first.
Yeah.
And I didn't see what transpired. I can only imagine catcher's interference because the first baseman was on the bag when he caught the ball. So on to the bottom of the second we go, and tonight's coverage on Crescent City Sports is brought to you by the Lamarck Motor Company in Kenner. Lamarck Quick Lane services all makes and models, batteries, tires, oil changes, and more. All done quickly while you enjoy some popcorn. Must be a reason. To the plate comes Logan Nelson to start the bottom of the second inning against Sammy St. Pierre, who set them down in order in the first.
Number 43.
And he only used
Logan Nelson.
9 pitches in the first inning. Here's Nelson, right-handed hitter. First pitch to Logan. Swung on and fouled. He hung a breaking ball, and Nelson saw it. Looked big to him. Hacked and couldn't connect to turn it around. Nelson at .357 has a home run and 3 driven in the summer. And the 0-1. Smashed into left field. Left fielder back. He's not going to get that. That's over his head. To the wall it goes. On his way to second base goes Nelson with a double. Well, there's what happens when you play shallow, but playing shallow is the right thing to do in this ballpark. There's more balls that fall in front of outfielders in this park than go over heads, Danny, and that's the thought process.
That ball was roped out towards the left center gap, and left fielder didn't take too long to go into chase mode on that one. So Jesuit in a good spot, down by a run, and now they've got their leadoff man in scoring position, nobody out.
Logan Nelson producing his first double of the summer. And now Marshall Sirio, another returning starter from Prep. To the plate, the shortstop.
Marshall Sirio.
Sirio, senior to be at 5'11", 170. At the plate. Wants to at least move a runner here. 154 for the summer, no RBI at this point. See if he's swinging your bunting. Going to swing, and he grounds it to short, but that should get the runner advanced, and it will. Good at bat, and out at first. Bertrand a reason. But that's the kind of baseball you want to see, Danny. Hit the ball behind the runner. Now, I say hit behind the runner, but he hit the ball to the glove side of the shortstop. That's behind the runner. If you hit it to the arm side, it's a different animal. Right. You don't go in that situation.
Anything that takes the shortstop up the middle and you're on second and not forced, you can go to third. So Jesuit has gotten him on, gotten him over. We'll see if DeLatte can get him in.
Derek DeLatte batting and taking it away from ball one.
And this is a key part of baseball at any level. Men on third with less than 2 outs. You've got to be able to score them.
DeLatte 400 with 5 RBI. 1-0 pitch. Swing and a line drive. Base hit left field. This game is tied at 1. Nelson crosses the plate. DeLatte's trying for 2. The throw is there, and he is safe at second base. The throw was there in time. It was a little wide of the second baseman, Bootery. Aggressive base running. DeLatte doubles home. Nelson, who had doubled, we're tied at 1.
Well, that's what we were talking about in the first inning. Great job by DeLatte of going with the pitch to the opposite field. Great hustle play to get to second. I don't think many people thought he was going to try to turn that into 2, but a great hustle play to get himself in the scoring position with just 1 out.
Now Austin Guidry, the catcher. Pitcher stepped off for the moment. Guidry going into what is his sophomore year. A young man who's big and strong with a great future. Pitch on the way. Breaking ball down, 1-0. Boy, you love seeing a young man going into his sophomore year that's 6'1", 215, and he's catching for you. I like that, man.
Yeah, he's a really good-looking young player here in this Jesuit program. Got a great pop time behind the plate. He's one to watch when you're talking about a Division I type prospect down the road.
Time call. Guidry steps out. 333 for the summer. He has 2 RBI. Couple of doubles to his credit. The pitch. Breaking ball missed away. So each pitcher strong in the first, struggling in the second in different ways. Straight up defensively are the Wolves. Shortstop's up the middle, trying to keep in touch with DeLatte at second base, who has his lead. To the plate. Foul back, had a good cut. It's 2-1.
Yeah, Jesuit in this inning has done what you have to do in this ballpark to score, and that is earn it. They lead off with the double. Serio moves the guy over. DeLatte gets him in, so they're doing it with the bats against a strike-throwing pitcher like St. Pierre. That's what you're going to have to do. You're going to have to earn whatever you get because he's not going to give you many free passes.
2-1 on Guidry. Stepping off again. Not a fast worker by any stretch. And now the 2-1. Ground ball right side. Second baseman corrals at Bootery to first for the out. On to third goes DeLatte. Run out number 2. Which will get Brennan Johnson to the plate. Johnson going to his senior year.
Brennan Johnson.
200 on the summer. He's driven in 4 runs. Runner away from third. And a good pitch for a strike called to Johnson. Pitchers can work out of the stretcher from the windup with the runner third, but St. Pierre is always out of the stretch, so very comfortable in that mode, which of course he enables him to keep it on to runner at third. Third baseman a little bit off the bag, as you might imagine. 0-1. Breaking ball, that's a good one. Maybe the best he's thrown.
And that pitch, it's kind of like a slurve. It breaks down and it breaks across, so these right-handed hitters are going to have to look to go middle of the field, right center gap. That thing's on the outer part of the plate.
No balls and 2 strikes. And another. Missing away with hot stuff. So the count goes to a ball and 2 strikes with 2 outs and a runner third, tied at 1, bottom of the 2nd inning. At John Ryan Stadium in Metairie, sun shining brightly. That's both good and bad. It's good because of the rain we've seen. Not as good because of the heat for the players in particular. But they're young. Here he comes. Breaking ball beat foul off the end of the bat to stay alive. I don't know about you, but when I was 16 or 17, I didn't notice the heat at all, man. It's like it didn't even exist.
Yeah, it didn't matter. Didn't matter. Run from one game to the next.
I was like, let's play 2. But I didn't say that very often because that was a line of a player from a team I don't really talk about. 1 and 2 the count. Here it comes. There's a liner in the right center field.
There it is.
That's going to paint the gap. It will play another run. That's extra bases. Let's see if he can get 3 out of this. Round second. He's going to go for 3. Here comes the throw to third. He is safe at third base with an RBI triple. Brennan Johnson, and he gives Retif Oil a 2-1 lead.
Right center gap. That's the key, it looks like, against St. Pierre. You got to be willing to go the other way against them, and Jesuit doing a pretty good job of it. Delat had the big hit the other way. There's Johnson going hard into the right center gap against them. So Jesuit starting to really swing the bats here in the second.
3 extra base hits here. Johnson's gassed. I mean, he was. It was like a truck was on his back, and he's limping a little bit, which is a concern. And he'll come off the field. Let's hope he's okay, and we'll get a runner at first base, and don't know who that is because I don't have 30 on my roster, but we'll see if we can find out.
Number 30, Brennan Shea.
Oh, it's Brennan
Running at
Shea.
third base.
It's my relative. There we go. And I'm looking at his mother and my sister sitting over here to the right. Like, they're going to kill me for that. I didn't recognize you, Brennan. It's all good, man. So Shea runs at third for Johnson, and here's Jace Delat, the third baseman. Jace from the left side, pitch on the way, and that's a breaking ball in there for a strike call. Jace Delat. Going into his sophomore year at Jesuit. 0-1. Ground ball to first. That's picked by Reason. He'll make it to the bag in time. Inning over, but a productive inning for Retif Oil with 2 runs on 3 extra base hits. No errors. Stranded runner their first left, and after 2, it's a 2-1 lead for Retif Oil. Yeah, we've had 2 completely different innings thus far.
Yeah, the scoring opened up here in a second. St. Paul's was able to take advantage of the leadoff man reaching, and then McGee pitches around some trouble with that nice double play. Delat to Sirio, to Bosco, and then, right there in the bottom of the second, Jesuit started doing exactly what we said they were going to have to do to score. Getting hits, earning what they get, multiple extra base hits. It's a big park, taking advantage of it. They know it better than anybody, and able to win the inning. St. Paul's got 1, Jesuit got 2. So Retif wins the inning. I always talk about that. When you're the home team and you give up some runs in the top part of an inning, get in the dugout, get those bats, and get determined to win the inning. Score more than they did. Everybody's all excited when a team scores in the top of the inning. Well, if you match or score more in the bottom of the inning, who cares? So that's what Retif did right there.
Mentor of yours once said that you win games by scoring more runs in 1 inning than the other team scores in the entire game, right?
Yep. That was Coach Morrow's philosophy, that if you looked at baseball line scores, that you would see that the winning team usually scored more runs in 1 inning than the other team scored in the whole game.
Calvin McGee had 34 pitches in 2 innings. Time called by Cooper Bertrand, the leadoff hitter. Bertrand started the game by reaching on an error. And bats here to start the 3rd inning, leading off for the 2nd time of the game, and he grounds it that way again, but foul. And it's 0-1. So maybe you have a book on him. He's hit the ball that way twice. No balls and a strike. Catcher needs some assistance with his gear. So Gedry getting some help from a teammate. Strap me up. Oh, you got to be crazy to catch, man. Especially in the heat, man. Come on. Get the earpiece back in. Pick up the helmet. Put the helmet and mask on. Get the glove back on. And then squat down.
God bless catchers.
I have a funny story to tell
Tough
about
spot.
that. Funny story to tell about that. There's a pop-up right side. First baseman wants it. And it is a call-off by the second baseman. Just fair, making the catch to Lat for out number 1. You had to contend with the runner coming down there, and he was right in the path of Bosco. And DeLatte did a good job to call him off because, you know, you've got a situation there where you've got the right to the bag, but if the fielder's obstructing, that's a good job by the second baseman DeLatte to make sure of that.
Yeah, that's an easier play for him coming across right into the catch. So that's why that second baseman's got priority over the first baseman on the pop-up, and DeLatte called him off and took it in on his own for out number 1.
Swing and a miss by Boudery, who singled his first trip. Took it away. And down it's 1-1. You want my story? So Lakeshore Playground. I was good, but not outstanding, not great. All-star team. You know, in those days, everybody played playground, so it was really a massive honor to make an all-star team, which means you played all the other playgrounds. There's a ball down, and it's 2-1. And I was the first alternate for the all-star team. So they came to me and said, we really want you on this team because you're versatile and you're a good player. But there was a but. And you know what's coming. Here's a pop-up left side. Shortstop out on the grass. Sirio is under it, and he'll make the catch for out number 2. The but was I had played shortstop most of the year, but I caught in 2 games. Said, we'll put you on the roster.
As a catcher?
At the expense of the other guy. This other guy had to go on vacation. And we'll put you on Washington as a catcher. I said, oh, I'm jumping all over that. So you can guess what's coming next. First pitch on the way. There's a fly ball out of play. Left side, it's 0-1. So we played a practice game. It's probably 9,500 degrees. I caught. And the last thing I remember, sometime in the 6th inning, I remember being out there. 0-1 pitch. That's a strike, 0-2. And the next thing I remember, I was laying on a couch in the supervisor's office at Lakeshore Playground. Awakened, getting smelling salts and giving me a salt tablet, whatever that's supposed to do. And I'm like, I don't think I want to do this. Swing and a miss, he struck him out. So McGee comes back with a very strong top of the 3rd inning, set him down in order with nothing across, and it's 2-1. Moral to the story, be a gamer, but take your game only so far because catching wasn't for me, Danny. That wasn't for me. I was a skinny kid at that point, okay? My strength was I could run. So what the heck was I doing behind the plate there, man? What the heck was that? What the heck was that?
It's a tough spot. It's a tough position to play. You've got to love it, and you've got to be tough as nails, especially in the summertime with the heat that we get down here.
That ended my catching career. So, and I'm very happy it did, frankly. Tonight's coverage on Crescent City Sports is brought to you by Ochsner Andrews Sports Medicine Institute. Get the same sports medicine care the pros receive with minimally invasive treatments and quicker recovery times. Visit Ochsner.org/sportsmed to learn more or schedule an appointment near you. What the heck was salt tablet anyway? I mean, it was like Neanderthal days. I mean, didn't know any better, right? Yeah.
Gatorade in a tablet, huh?
Yeah, Gatorade in a tablet. Florida water. What is that? I don't know, man.
We still use that now. Oh, yeah.
I couldn't stand the smell of that stuff, man.
Florida water's great.
I used it when I played competitive softball for all those years. With all the ringers, I put together a ringer team. We played we travel the tournaments all over the place. But you would have liked the team, you know, with Kenny Forsang and Glenn Formo and Scott Murphy and Nolan Franz and Brian Migliori and
just a few good players.
Manny Coletti. Yeah. You ever heard of those guys? Yeah. And somehow I was on that team. But anyway, here we go. Griffin Gendron at the plate. Pitch on the way. And there's a strike. I didn't mention Vince Manala or Travis Bourgeois. Roy Dickinson. These guys could play. I mean, they were fun. 0-1. The Gendron, who grounded to the pitcher his first time. 25th pitch of the game. St. Pierre, his 26th is on the way. straight up in the air. Center fielder in, shortstop out, shortstop there, making the catch two hands. Bertrand for out number one. Here's Michael Brothers, who flew out to center his first time.
Center fielder, Michael Brothers.
Here's Brothers. Taking quite a bit of time. That's just the nature of this hurler. Pitch on the way. And that's a strike. It's 0-1. It's one of the things I really enjoy. One of the many things I enjoy about calling Delgado games. The philosophy there is you work fast. We don't fool around. Here it is. There's your pitch and go.
Yeah, you got to love pitchers that throw with that fast tempo.
Right side. That will sneak through for a base hit. Michael Brothers gets one through the right side for a one-out single. And that's hit number 4 for the Blue Jays. And that will bring Joe Bosco to the plate, who grounded to short in the first inning.
It's always fun to play defense. You see Brothers single right past the second baseman out in the right field.
One of the things you notice about that particular ground ball is this turf does not play fast. It plays relatively slow. It's a different turf than the one they had most recently. The pitch, runner goes, pitch away, throw down by the catcher is a seed,
safe.
And he is safe on a bang-bang play. Can't make a better throw than Sims made. Brothers got too good of a jump. Shortstop was there, Bertrand, but that's a great jump to get him the stolen base. And again, he got rid of that ball quickly as well. A very impressive job by Sims here.
Yeah, it was a very close play. Brothers gets in there with his foot, gets in the scoring position, takes the double play out of order. So Coach Kenny Goodlett not wasting any time to get Brothers down the second, get him in the scoring position.
Bosco waits. And that just missed the outside edge. So it's 2 balls and no strikes.
But yeah, you love guys that pitch with a good, quick tempo. It keeps the defense on their toes. It keeps them involved in the game and keeps the game flow going the way you want it.
17 steal on the season for Retif, and the second for Brothers, who's in scoring position with 1 out for Bosco. Swing and a miss, good hook. And it's 2-1. Again, a long period between pitches, and the pitch foul back. He got a breaking ball up. Couldn't quite turn it around, and it's 2 balls and 2 strikes. Catcher Sims to the mound to have a quick word or two with St. Pierre. Calls in the shortstop as well. Maybe they spot something with the runner at second. All right, so tell the real story there about runners at second and how often they try to procure what the other team is trying to do via signals.
Well, I think it's something that you're always trying to look for if you get to second base, to see if there's something that you can pick up and be able to relay to hitters. I mean, most teams have elaborate signals with the man on second, so it's not too easy to do. But sometimes you'll run into the teams that go to sleep a little bit with a man on second. You can pick up some information and relay it to your hitter to try to help them and give them an edge.
Misses down and out. It's 3-2 now on Bosco. With Brothers hanging on at second base.
Teams will do different signs, multiple signs, which sign counts. Some will do touches, body touches with a man on second. Different ways to mix it up to make sure that runner on second can't figure out what you're throwing.
Again, hitter steps out a bit frustrated, you can see, because he's taking a lot of time out there. Been very slow from the start.
Yeah, kind of different from McGee. McGee kind of gets it and throws it.
Another 3-2, and he struck him out looking. Good pitch. Bosco knew it. He nods yes. Heads to the dugout, and that's the second out. Logan Nelson will bat. He started that 2-run rally last inning for the Oilers with a ringing double.
Number 43.
Which was to deep left field.
Logan Nelson.
And the left field is slightly deeper now. Not much, but it's a couple of steps. Villa in left. Center fielder moved back a notch just now as well by Coach Scanlon. And another time called again. The time taken here is pretty obvious, and hitters keep calling time, waiting for something to transpire. Now ready. Runner gets a huge jump. No chance to throw him out. I mean, he got a running start. Pitcher never really looked. And Brothers with his second stolen base of the inning. A lot of credit to him. Well, still no harm done for Calcutta Gold if St. Pierre can get the out here. He's 0-1 to Nelson. Again, you saw the running jump there. That was huge.
Yeah, he took that one easy. Stole that all on the pitcher.
Dips down, and it's 1-1.
And if you can get moving, third base is the easiest bag to swipe.
One. Way outside. Good job by the catcher, Sims, to go get it. And it's 2 balls and a strike. 2 outs, runner at third. Bottom of the third, Retif Oil up 2-1.
Whole key to stealing third is having a good moving lead, a momentum type lead. And you can take off and take the bag. It's usually fairly easy if you get that lead and you can be moving. The biggest thing for a pitcher with a man on second is you want to stop the runner's feet. Stop them, make them have to go back in situations. And once a runner stops his feet at second or has to take a step back, you pretty much got to shut down any kind of steal of third. Stealing third, like I always tell guys, it's an opportunity. Everything's got to line up, and if you get it, you can take the bag. But if you don't get it, if you don't have that lead that you know you need to take it, shut it down. We'll do it on another pitch.
Now it's 2 balls and 2 strikes on Nelson. Brothers leads third. Pitch coming. Foul back. Again, wind blowing across toward left and out that way. 2-2. Swing and a miss. Good breaking ball. Takes care of Nelson. Back-to-back strikeouts for St. Pierre. Gets him out of that inning. No runs and a hit. 1 man left. That's 2 stranded by Retif. We've played 3. And it is 2-1. Retif Oil over Calcutta Gold. Danny, we mentioned it's year 4 of the Crescent City Sports Prep Summer League. We've grown to 21 schools from Bayou area, North Shore, River Parishes, New Orleans area. So all of that, we're all there. So it's really encompassing the entire metro area and beyond.
Yeah, it's awesome. I'm glad to see the expansion, and it's really, proven its worth in this area. It was something that was needed, that the schools, wanted to do, and you guys leading the charge gave them the opportunity to do this, where it allows the players to get the best of both worlds. They get to play for their school during the week. They can still go play for travel-type organizations on the weekends. They don't conflict. It all kind of meshes together to give these guys a chance to play for their school, for the high school coaches to evaluate the talent that they have coming back for next year's prep team. But it also gives these guys the chance to go showcase themselves at college parks and do those types of things on the weekend and go to the perfect game tournaments and all the stuff that they want to be able to do. So it's a great thing. It's been an outstanding league, and obviously more and more schools are being drawn to it, and you guys expanding it is always a positive step. I'm sure you'll have your phone ringing after this season with, even more teams that want to get in it for next year.
Well, the whole concept was for schools to have the benefit of keeping underclassmen for a while longer, but also to allow them to do the other things. And I think it's been a perfect world situation. To right field, and it's going to bounce in. That ball was off the end of the bat and not able to be read as well as possible by Jean-Song. Off the bat it looks pretty formidable, Danny, but off the end of the bat it's just kind of hooking and dying a bit, so wisely played it on a hop. You don't want to play a single into extra bases here. That could be an inside-the-park home run in this ballpark.
Yeah, you got to be careful. If something gets behind you in this park, they're going to be running for a while. So you're 100% correct that you got to make smart decisions out in this outfield at John Ryan because it's so big. But this is now 3 out of 4 innings that St. Paul's has the leadoff man on.
Puts pressure on the defense. 2 double plays have been turned, though, by this defense. 45th pitch of the game is a swing and a miss from McGee to Sims. Sims walked and scored the lone run for Calcutta Gold in the second inning. Oh, and 1 on Sims. And a strike makes it 0-2. Straight up defensively, looking for the double play ball once more. Catcher sets up off the plate. Ground ball right side to second. They're going to wheel and throw to second. Nice play. Back to first. And, close play at first. And safe is the call. And still well done by DeLatte to get the out at second in that situation. They made this very close at first base as well.
Yeah, showing great versatility there. Goes hard to his left. You think he's going to first. Nope, we're going to go to the middle and get that lead guy. And just a nice turn by Serio, but it took so long with DeLatte having to go hard to his left that there was not much of a chance to get the guy back at first. But they made it about as close as you could make it.
Running at first base.
Borders will run at first. Marciante will bat. He was hit by a pitch in the second inning. And a ball down.
The batter is number 23, John Marciante.
McGee gets so many ground balls. If you're an infielder, you got to love playing behind this guy.
Snap throw to first. Good quick move and a good quick tag, but the runner back. And again on that ground ball, as I've said earlier, this is a slower turf than the previous iteration they had here. Had this one installed, a year and a half, 2 years ago after water got under the previous turf and bubbled it up and forced him out of this ballpark for a year. Popped him up. It's on the infield. Pitcher sees it. Third baseman calls him off. Making the catch is DeLatte. And that is out number 2.
Well, once again, McGee doing a great job at trying to work around the leadoff man reaching. He's done a great job of it today.
Reese DeVille popped out to first in the second inning. To the plate in the dirt, wild pitch. That'll get the runner in the scoring position. So tying run down to second. Second wild pitch of the game by McGee. We wondered back in 2012 when we first came here about that mechanical or portable mound, if you will, and how it would be for pitchers and whether it would hold up. It's really proven to be no issue at all. Not dirt.
And these pitchers, they're throwing off of turf mounds now at the younger ages. And in travel baseball, most of the mounds are turf. So they're pretty used to this by this point.
Pitch on the way. Down a ball. And it's 2-0. Yeah, look, don't call me old, but I do prefer natural grass fields. Of course, I didn't really want the DH either, but that's another story. Problem with natural grass fields is the maintenance. It's very difficult, especially beneath the professional level. 2-0 pitch, and he hit him in the back. So that's the third hit batsman by McGee. What's causing that, Danny?
Well, I said it earlier that you could see right from the start he wasn't afraid to pitch inside and You know, you obviously don't want to hit 3 guys, but sometimes when you're committed to throwing on the inner third, you know, hit by pitches are going to happen.
Number 13, Reed Montgomery.
You know, it's a good place to pitch. You know, if you can control it and live on that inner third, because it's hard for high school hitters to get around on it.
There's Reed Montgomery, drove in the run in the second inning, and has a chance here with 2 on,
So
and he
ran
beats
that
one
one
into
in
the
on him.
ground. Pitcher goes to get it. McGee will tag the runner himself, and the inning is over. So 1 unassisted gets him out of the jam with no runs and a hit and 2 men stranded. That's 6 left in the game by Calcutta Gold. We head to the bottom of the 4th, and it remains 2-1 in favor of Retif Oil. And tonight's coverage on Crescent City Sports is brought to you by Gibbs Construction, a leader in the construction industry in Louisiana and the Gulf Coast for more than 45 years. Transforming dreams, visions, and plans into reality, Gibbs Construction. And you always give a big thank you to Gibbs Construction?
Oh, absolutely. Mr. Larry Gibbs and Lauren Gibbs and the whole Gibbs family. Emerson's back in town, star pitcher here for Jesuit and Retif Oil, and you know, just a great family. Tremendous contributions to the youth of this area, and not just in baseball. I mean, a lot of people don't know Larry's been a huge supporter. He's on the board of JPAS, you know, theater and arts. You know, he's anything that they can do to help the youth of the community. They've always stepped up and done it, and just great people. And like I say, time and time again, we love playing for that Gibbs name in the summertime.
Yep, terrific guy. We are so appreciative of Larry and Gibbs Construction, the continued support of our efforts at Crescent City Sports, and years ago relationship with television as well. So here in the bottom of the 4th inning, it will be Marshall Sirio, Derek Delat, and Austin Gedry against Sammy St. Pierre, who's thrown 40 pitches in 3 innings. As advertised, his control's been good. He hasn't walked anyone. He struck out 2. So 2 differently pitched games. One pitcher that's really struggled with his command, but has pitched around issues. The other pitcher who had the one rough inning of extra base hits. Here's Sirio, grounded to short his first time. First one on the way. Fastball strike. He has that cross action, if you will. His fastball will cut to the outer portion against right-handed hitters. 0-1 on Sirio. Hard hit to third. Nice pick by DeVille. Throw across on the money. 1 out. Good contact for Naught, and now Derek Delat to the plate. He ripped a double his first time to drive home the first run. That ball was well
Second
struck.
baseman,
It was
Derek
hit hard.
Delat.
Nice play by the third baseman who was in on the green, possibly guarding against a drag bunt or something of that nature, and still makes a nice play on a hard hit ball.
Here's Derek Delat. Pitch on the way. Missing down. It's 1-0. Toward left field. That's going to get down for a base hit. So Derek Delat is 2 for 2 as he lines his single to left. Very impressive day for Derek. And now Austin Gedry, who grounded the second to advance the runner back in the second inning. It's 5 hits now for Retif Oil.
Catcher, Austin Guidry.
Delat doing a great job today of staying inside the ball and taking it the other way.
There's Gedry. Quick move to first. Swipe tag Reason. Good breaking ball, but it dips low. Good take by Gedry, 1-0. And to take that pitch means you read it well. Out of the hand, you recognize it wasn't going to be a fastball because that was going to break over the heart of the plate, but was down. Missing away. 2 balls and no strikes. Out of play, and it's 2-1.
Well, other than the second inning, lots of zeros up there.
Now 3-1. So this should be a pitch to Gedry to look to drive. With a runner first and 1 out. And a 2-1 ball game in the bottom of the 4th. Retif Oil trying to stay unbeaten in Crescent City Sports Summer League play. Toward third, foul, and it's full 3-2. Bullpen's going to get busy for Calcutta Gold. 3 balls and 2 strikes. See if they start the runner on 3-2. He is going. Pitch is high. Won't matter. Ball 4. So it will be 2 on, 1 out, and that is walk number 1 issued by St. Pierre. It looks like Brennan Shea is going to bat here. So
Yeah, Josh saw must have tweaked his ankle or something.
Yeah,
he kind of pulled up between second and third.
He did.
He might have hit it wrong coming around the bag.
Yeah, Shea came in to run for him, stayed in, and here he is. He gets a talking to from his coach. And here's Brennan coming to the plate. Going into his junior year. All right, it's a relative alert here for me. So here we go. Getting a long talking to here as both coaches are visiting extensively with their players, and that kills for time for bullpen to get loose for Calcutta Gold. And that is Griffin Hatteberg, the senior who's warming in the bullpen. St. Pierre trying to keep this a 1-run game. Retif Oil has 2 on, 1 out, and here is Brennan Shea to the plate.
Brennan Shea.
Started on the JV team all year. He's 0 for 2 in the varsity. Getting an opportunity here. Once again, St. Pierre stepped off. We've seen a lot of that. Pitch to Brennan. Toward right, slicing toward the lines. Long run, Springman, and can't get it. Diving into foul territory. 2-1. Runner would have tagged at second for sure in advance, but it would have been an out. Good effort by Springman nonetheless. And Shea went up swinging.
That's what he's in there to do. Go get you a base hit.
I'm sure Coach Goodlett relayed that to him when they visited. Hey, if you like the freshman, hit it.
I tell guys that all the time, especially after conferences, you know, because the coach is usually going out there telling them to
Throw
do
a
what?
strike.
Throw a strike.
There you go.
And if he gooses one in there, crack it.
Easier said than done.
Don't take it.
From the stretch. And another inside move. That's 2 in a row. And it's been, at times, painstakingly slow. And another step off. I think the slowest worker I saw on the major league level was a guy named Steve Traxel. Bothered the heck out of me because of who he pitched for initially, and he was slow. Breaking ball away. And it's 1-1. Fastest workers? Well, I'm biased there because Bob Gibson was an incredibly fast worker. And then, of course, when I was busy doing AAA games back in the day, the Zephyrs games, Roy Oswald, who went on to be a great pitcher in the majors. Roy pitched like he had a dinner date every night. I mean, everybody tried to step out on him. The 1-1. That's way outside and low. It's 2-1. Two balls and a strike. And another inside move this time. They do throw. Runner back. A lot of attention being drawn at second base by Derek Delat. Remember, they stole third earlier on St. Pierre. The pitch, down and out. So now 3-1. And none of these pitches after the first pitch swing have been close.
Yeah, he must be starting to tire.
Yeah, I think so.
I think you're going to probably see St. Paul's go to the bullpen fairly soon. This might be his last guy if he doesn't get him.
Hatterberg has come into the dugout. He was warming up, which means he's either stopped throwing or he's ready to come in. I think the latter is likely true. 3-1. Popped him up right side. First baseman should have a play. He's under it in foul territory and making the catch. The first baseman reason for out number 2. So that's a big out after being down 3-1 in the count. And now Jace Delat grounded out to first in the second inning. We've had traffic on the bases, but only 3 runs scored in the game. Each pitcher's had 1-2-3 inning thus far. Swing and a miss. Boy, he tied him up in knots, sent him way out in front. Hitter anxious, and the ball wouldn't get there. It's 0-1. Hate when that happens, at least as a hitter. Missing down and in, it's 1-1. And that's right down the middle. Good pitch. And it's 1-2 now as St. Pierre tries to get out of this and get his team back to the dugout, only down 1. One-two pitch. Up the middle, the second. Too short for the force. Bouderie to Bertrand. Inning is over. And no runs and a hit. And no errors, 2 stranded. That's 4 left for Retif. We go to the 5th. Retif Oil 2. And Calcutta Gold 1. Good job by St. Pierre to escape that slight jam.
Yeah, both of these pitchers have done a great job of getting themselves out of tough spots. And, you know, your score is 2-1 Retif, and all those runs came in the second inning. Other than that, it's nothing but zeros up there. So McGee did a great job. It looks like he's going to be done as Jesuit runs a new arm out there to the mound. Jacob Chan.
Jacob been up in the bullpen a few times. Big young man. He'll take to the hill in relief of Calvin McGee, who did a good job and pitched around some traffic while he was in there. And he's in a position to win the game if Retif Oil can hold the lead. Jacob Chan, 6 foot 200. He's all of that. Takes to the mound for Retif Oil. Chan has pitched in 1 game, and he has no record. 3 innings pitched, 4 hits, 2 runs. They were unearned, though. 2 walks and 4 strikeouts to his credit. got to believe that might be it for St. Pierre too, Danny. It was
he was in a spot there where if he would have lost one of those guys towards the end of the inning, you may have seen a pitching change. He was able to get out of it. He did a great job of working out of some tough spots. So, you know, the pitchers are really the story of the game so far. Jesuit has swung the bats overall better, but still not a ton to show for it. Only the 2 runs in the bottom of the second.
The line on McGee. 4 innings, 2 hits, 1 run earned, walked 1, struck out 1. 2 out pitches, 3 hit batters. Carter Stevens leads off. He was hit by a pitch. His first time facing Chan for the first time, who delivers a hot one up and in, ball 1. Showed a low velocity there. I say that because you always want your pitcher coming on behind the previous pitcher to be a different look. Ground ball to second. Easily handled by Dillette. Throws him out. 1 gone. Slow roller. Got jammed. Jude Reason will bat. He hit into that 4-6-3 double play to end that big threat.
Now pitching.
Back in the top of the second inning. Boy, Calcutta Gold had a great chance. Had scored a run and had the bases loaded, 1 out, but Reason hit into that 4-6-3 double play. And since then, it's gone the other way. 1 of 2 double plays turned by Retif Oil. Down and out, ball 1.
The batter is first baseman Jude Reason.
Want to take time to thank Kenny Goodlett for accommodating us here this evening. My friend and neighbor. Foul back. It's 1-1. Always treated well here. Good facility, good place to work out of. And we get to hear Larry DeGate all night. Usually I run into Larry at College Inn. It's like every time I go there, he's there. Missing down and out, and it's 2-1. Good man.
That used to coach Nord Uptown, Babe Ruth baseball.
Two and 1. High and away, 3-1. Yeah, you got some iconic PA announcers over the years. You had Steve Slumber, of course, who fun guy, great guy. We always talk music, had a blast doing it. Football, Dougie Morrow. There's a ball down, so a walk issued to Reason. And now Cooper Bertrand. He's reached on an error and popped to second.
Shortstop, Cooper Bertrand.
Base hit to right. Good job by the runner, Reason, to hop over the ball. That ball was hit right at him. And he did a good job to make sure that that ball didn't hit him in that situation. So, and that's an alert play by the base runner. That's not an easy thing to do. But he was able to do it right here.
Yeah, that was an excellent heads-up base running play there by the runner, because that would have been really bad luck for St. Paul's if he would have got hit with that baseball.
Brody Bootery.
Now Brody Bootery with an opportunity with 2 on, 1 out. Bootery is singled and he's popped to short. Tying run at second, go ahead run at first. That's into left center. That's going to tie the game. Left fielder's there to field it. His throw's going to come toward third. Nobody covering third. Safe at home. That allows the runner to go to second. This game's tied. And here comes Calcutta Gold. Well, there's a few things wrong with that play, Danny, as we watch it again here. And you can describe it. First of all, nobody's covering third. The throw's coming in that way. And then they throw home, which allows the back end runner to reach second. As a coach, that's not what you want to see.
No,
right?
It takes a double play out of order. You want to try to hit cutoff men and keep double plays in order as much as you possibly can. That was kind of weird looking because, a base hit to the outfield and left, and you're cutting to the plate as they were. The third baseman is the cutoff, but Sirio took the cut throw. So, yeah, that play kind of got out of whack on the Retif Oilers.
Prompts a visit to the mound as Chan has come in, and he's had some trouble here. It all started with a walk, doesn't it always? Then a couple of base hits, and now go ahead runs at third with only 1 out and another runner at second base, and Brennan Villa coming to the plate with a chance to be a big man in this ball game.
Left fielder.
Villa came in at
Brennan
375
Villa.
with 2 RBIs, and he has a chance here. They're coming in at first and third. They'll stay back at second and short here in the 5th inning. Villa takes it away, ball 1. Two sports star. You got many of those on this St. Paul's team that play football as well. And he took a strike over the outside edge.
Chan painted the outside corner right there. That was a great pitcher's strike.
1-1. Swing and a foul. He had a cut. It's 1-2. Chan would love the strikeout here. And Villa's job is to put the ball in play. A ball and 2 strikes. Chan the sign. And the pitch. And he missed down and out. Blocked up the third baseline by Gedry. And the count goes even at 2-2. Two-two pitch. Oh, he struck him out with a really good breaking ball. That's a big pitch in this game. Keep that runner at third. Now 2 outs. And here's Springman, who singled his last trip. He's 1 for 2.
That's a huge strikeout there for Chan, because now you've got 2 outs. You're a pitch away from getting out of this little spot that you're in with runners at second and third. So that was a spot where St. Paul's really needed Villa to get the ball on the field and try to score that guy from third. He couldn't do it. Now Jesuit might be able to get out of this.
Tried a breaking ball, but he's down and out, 1-0.
Got to get those guys in from third with less than 2 outs.
1-0. Missing down and out. It's 2-0. This is the site of where we will have the 4th year of our championships. Semifinals, followed by the finals the next evening. Right around July 2nd and 3rd. Second time we will have had it in this ballpark in 4 years. There's a strike call. And it's 2-1.
And they've got an open base right here, so you're facing a 3-hole hitter, 4-hole hitter rather. So you're not going to give him anything great. They're staying way away off the outer part of the plate. If he gets himself out, that's fine. If we walk him, it's no big deal, because now we got forces everywhere. So they're not giving him anything great to hit in this at bat.
2-1 is fouled out of play. It's 2-2.
Probably see some type of off speed here in 2-2, I would imagine.
2 on, 2 balls, 2 strikes, and 2 outs. And a 2-2 pitch. Ooh, he laid off the backdoor breaking ball, and it's full 3-2.
That was close. That was a good pitch.
That was the right idea, and it's just off the plate.
Yep.
And a good job by Springman to lay off here.
That was a good take by Springman, 100%.
Payoff pitch is on the way. Swing and a miss. A breaking ball struck him out.
Came back with it.
Great job by Chan to get out of a big jam. Tying run scores on 2 hits. 2 big runners stranded. That's 8 left. Count them 8.
Yep.
In 5 innings by Calcutta goal. Let's take a stretch here from John Ryan. We're starting over. We're tied at 2. And tonight's coverage on Crescent City Sports is brought to you by the Lamarck Motor Company in Kenner. Lamarck Lincoln is the only Lincoln Black Label dealership in the market. It's more than ownership, it's membership, and there must be a reason. Great Kenner business, Lamarck Motor Company.
Ronnie Lamarck and family, another great family who always looking to step up to help the young people in the community, and they've been a long-time sponsor, and can't thank them enough for everything that they do as well. You know, it's great to have these families that, like the Gibbs and the Lamarcks, that see the value in these young people and helping them and showcase their ability on TV and radio and online streaming and all the ways that we've been able to get baseball and of course you with all the other sports out there to the public. But yeah, I want to go back real quick. You know, with first base being open there, like we had talked about, they go 3-2 in Springman. They threw the breaking ball on 2-2, barely missed, and with the base open, and it's no big deal if you walk them, they threw it again, and they got him on the second one. So that's a great job of pitch calling by Retif Oil pitching coach Darryl Delsa.
Yeah, they weren't going to give in, were they?
No, and you don't have to with that base open, because if you walk them, it's nobody's hurt, and you've got forces everywhere still with 2 outs.
Griffin Hatterberg becomes the new pitcher for Calcutta Gold. Inherits a 2-2 ball game. And Hatterberg relieves St. Pierre, went 4 innings. And he will work to Griffin Gendron to lead it off. Takes it high for ball 1.
The batter is number 3.
Gendron is grounded to the pitcher, and he's
Gendron.
popped to short. As Hatterberg takes over here. One 1-0 pitch. Down a ball, it's 2-0. The line on St. Pierre was 4 innings, 5 hits, 2 runs earned with a walk and 2 strikeouts. And now Griffin Hatterberg gets the ball, and there's a swing and a foul back to make it 2-1. As Hatterberg, again, they've only played 4 games because of rain. He's made 1 appearance, 1 inning, 1 hit, no runs, a walk and 2 strikeouts. The equity in the number of games played is all about where you're located and when you played. Turf field's a better chance to play. Pitch away, it's 3-1. So a 3-1 count and a swing and a foul makes it 3-2. 2-2 ball game, bottom of the 5th. So 3 balls, 2 strikes. Payoff. And he struck him out looking. Quality pitch by Hatterberg, 1 out. Michael Brothers bats. He slides to center and he's singled.
Center fielder, Michael Brothers.
Shaded him slightly to pull. Took it inside, an off-speed breaking ball. Bunts it toward third. Pitcher goes to get it. He'll never throw him out. A great bunt by Michael Brothers. Has good speed. Put it in a really good spot. Beats it easy. Hit number 6 for the Oilers. And the second hit for Brothers. And Joe Bosco will bat. He's grounded to short and he struck out.
Brothers is one of those dangerous lefties that if they get the drag bunt down in the right spot, probably not even going to have a play. Great speed.
Foul back, it's 0-1.
And now Retif's got some speed on the bases, and I'm sure Coach Kenny Goodlet's going to get him in motion as quick as possible to get him in scoring position to try to retake this lead.
Oh, 1. On a play, it's 0-2. Away from first, Brothers. He swiped 2 bags earlier. Into center, right at the center fielder. He didn't read it well. It's over his head. And rounding second and heading for third, Brothers. He's going to score easily. Bosco's going to head for third. He's going to have himself a triple. And the Oilers take a 3-2 lead.
Well, you know, a line drive right at the center fielder is a very, very tough ball to read, and I think the St. Paul's center fielder had a lot of trouble reading that when Stevens out there in center field just did not get a good read on that ball. Started in, and it was hit over his head off the bat, and that's a big play there.
Logan Nelson has doubled and scored. He struck out. And the infield has to come in now at every position. High a ball. A lot of hitting room for Nelson, a good hitter, with an opportunity to add an insurance run here. Bullpen busy for Calcutta Gold.
Nelson's got to get something to the outfield.
1-0 is swung on and missed. Threw it by him. 1-1. Now the 1-1. That's in the dirt, blocked by Sims, and it's 2 balls and a strike. Two and one. And another. Missing down and out. It's 3-1. The 3-1. Missed low, so he walks him, and it's runners at the corners with 1 out for Marshall Sirio. Let's see how St. Paul's plays it now. Now they're going to do what I thought and back their second baseman and shortstop back to normal depth, the double play depth. We'll get a visit to the mound. There is a pitcher in the bullpen for Calcutta Gold who's been warming up, a left-hander. And the pitcher in the bullpen is Reed Montgomery, who's loosening. Hattenberg will stay in. And now Marshall Sirio, who's grounded to short and grounded to third, will bat.
Shortstop, Marshall Sirio.
First baseman has to hold the runner on. Reason holding Nelson on. It's Bosco at third. Good ball game. 3-2 here in the bottom of the 5th inning. And the pitch to Sirio. And that is over but low for a ball. The 1-0. Into right center field, hit well. Right fielder back. Won't get it. That ball's going to the wall. This will score 1. It's going to end up being an RBI double, and the lead grows to 4-2. As Sirio drills another extra base hit, and that's been the story for the Oilers here. Danny, that's 5 extra base hits for this Retif Oil team.
They've done a great job of hitting the ball in the gaps here at John Ryan. Extra bases. And it's hard to stop people when that's happening. They're doing a good job of swinging the bats. I've been impressed with Retif swinging the bat here today.
Now a 4-2 game and a chance to break it open with second and third. And here's the lad. Derek has doubled and singled. He's been the man. Missed inside for a ball. So
Batter is second baseman.
Hey, when
Derek
this game's over with, Danny, we'll be talking to a winning coach and a star of the game. We got a lot of people to pick from here. This young man would be one of them. He's 2 for 2 with an RBI and a chance to do some more damage. Here it comes. Way outside, it's 2-0. And the 2-0 pitch. Missing down and in. So they do have a base open. It's 3-0. A walk wouldn't be the worst thing here. Wouldn't be the best thing either. But the first baseman telling his pitcher just that, I'm sure. 3 balls, no strikes. And that's a strike called. It's 3-1. So 3 balls and a strike. And ball 4. So the bases are loaded with 1 out, and Gedry bats with a big opportunity to open this game up. He is grounded to second, and he has walked. As I mentioned, Danny, that's not the worst thing that could have happened in that situation.
No, it gives them the double play possibility now to get out of this jam. So you're totally correct. And, you know, whenever you have first base open, it's not always the end of the world if you lose the hitter. But when you do that, you better throw strikes to this guy.
Puts the pressure on when you have nowhere to put him. There's Gedry after a talk with his coach. Coming to the plate in a big spot.
Catcher, Austin Guidry.
Gedry should be looking for something good to hit right here.
Check out the runners. Pitch on the way. And that just missed for a ball, 1-0. Swing and a miss. He had a big cut at a fastball. And it's 1-1.
Biggest thing right here is just don't hit a ground ball in the infield. Get it to the outfield.
1-1. Down and out. Hook, 2-1.
You got to be sitting dead red fastball right here.
4-2, Retif Oil leading here in the 5th, and a chance to get some more. On 2-1, here it is. Swing and a drive to right will get a run home. Right fielder Springman will make the catch. Runner will tag from third. The throw home is way up the line, and it's a 5-2 ball game. Another runner advancing to third. Gedry gets the RBI.
Well, that's what you needed right there. Man on third, less than 2 outs. Of course, the bases were loaded, but you still had that man on third, less than 2 outs, and he got the fly ball to right field. Kept it off the infield on the ground. That's the biggest thing you want to do right there. Make sure you don't hit into that double play with the bases loaded. So Gedry getting that RBI, sac fly.
And Julian Alvarado is going to get his first at bat. Hitting in the 8th spot. Alvarado gets to the plate. Pitch. Strike call to Alvarado. A right-handed hitter. Who has had 6 at-bats here in the summer. Right-handed hitter, first and third, 1 out, and it's high. And it's 1-1. I said 1 out. 2 outs now in the inning after the sac fly. 1-1 the count. Stepped out. Collects himself. The pitch, runner goes from first, pitch down and out, no throw, stolen base. As Dirk DeLatte takes second. And the count goes to 2-1. Swing and a miss, 2-2. Two balls, 2 strikes, 2 on, 2 outs. Low, and it's 3-2. 5-2. Retif Oil on top now. And he walked him. So the bases are loaded now with 2 outs as Alvarado takes his walk to first. And here is Paige DeLatte, and here is a visit to the mound, and we may have a pitching change here. So we will have the change. And we'll get a left-hander into the game. For the Wolves, and that will be Reed Montgomery, who becomes the 3rd pitcher of the game. Hatteberg only able to go 2/3 of an inning, and it didn't go particularly well for him. Can't close the book on him as of yet, but walks hurt. 3 of those to go with a strikeout, and 3 hits were mixed in. Now Reed Montgomery has the task of trying to keep this where it's at for the Wolves. Montgomery, the left-hander, making his first appearance on the mound, going into his senior season. And this becomes a make or break situation, Danny, for the Wolves, as they cannot afford to give up anything else and have a reasonable chance in this ballgame.
No, you got to keep it right where it's at. 5-2. You know, you've only scored 1 run in the 2nd, 1 in the 5th, so you haven't really shown the ability to score in bunches. If you fall down by more than 3 runs, it's going to be pretty tough.
Chase DeLatte is grounded out to first and grounded into a fielder's choice. 4-6 play back in the 4th inning. Bases loaded, 2 outs, a lefty-lefty matchup. And the lefty brings it, and that's outside for ball 1. Nice batter to hit in the inning. The 1-0. Down the middle, it's 1-1. Runners lead every bag, and that's high, and it's 2-1. Nightfall arriving here in Metairie. Now a strike call makes it 2-2. Two balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs with the bases loaded. And the pitch on the way. A wrinkle, and he missed away, and it's high, and now everyone will take off. 3-2 the count, 2 outs with the bases loaded. Game really for the taking here for Retif Oil. Runners take off. Pitch is outside. It's 6-2 Retif Oil. An RBI for DeLatte, who walks and draws a run to make it a 6-2 ball game. Sirio crossing the plate. Everyone else moves up. And Gendron will bat. He started this inning with a strikeout. Things looked innocent for the St. Paul's team at that point, but boy, has it really changed. The pitch, swinging a foul, it's 0-1. He wasn't going to wait around.
All of this has happened after the Michael brothers drag bunt.
Yep.
That started it all.
Oh, 1, and a strike call makes it 0-2. Look out, he hit him on an 0-2 pitch. That will score another run, and this game has really opened up. It's 7-2. Things have just come apart here for Calcutta Gold in the bottom of the 5th inning. And now Brothers,
Number 2,
who's already singled
Michael
twice,
Brothers.
scored a run, will bat. Strike called 0-1. He had that bunt single earlier this inning. He's stolen 2 bases. He scored a run. And he has a chance to do some more damage. High. And it's 1-1. And that crowd's, it's 2-1. Two balls and a strike, bases loaded, 2 outs, 5 runs home here. And that is a strike to make it 2-2. Crooked numbers decide ball games. Large crooked numbers are almost impossible to overcome. And that's way outside, so here we go again, 3-2, and the runners will take off. Catcher to the mound. Trying to find some semblance of command here with this hurler, Montgomery. For the runs charged to the previous pitcher. Runners take off. Ball 4, another bases loaded walk. So the lead grows to 8-2. It's all about command here. Brothers gets the RBI. Bosco bats. He had the triple earlier this inning, which was big, and played it a run.
Number 9, Joe Bosco.
Here's Bosco. With the bases loaded, 2 outs. And he lines one to right. Right fielder coming on, won't get it. And he missed the ball. That ball's going to carry over his head. He never touched it, so that's going to be extra bases. It's going to be a base-clearing triple, and this game is broken wide open. It's now 11-2, and now Retif Oil's 1 run away from ending this. That has to go as a triple, Danny. He didn't touch the ball. That's 2 triples for Bosco. Maybe you'll be talking to him.
That's a heck of a season.
2 triples and 4 RBIs. I think you might be talking to him, man. Just guessing. Now a chance to end it if Logan Nelson can get the runner home from third. Walked earlier this inning. He's also doubled. Fouled. It's 0-1. I might want to have you ready here, man.
Might be sprinting down to the
You think?
field.
Yeah, because you don't know if it's going to end or not. 0-1 the count. But you know the routine, and so do they. And now it's 0-2. Couldn't find the zone. Now he has been able to, and it's no balls and 2 strikes. Oh, and 2 in the dirt. It's 1-2 to Nelson. Catcher was able to block it. A run charge to Hatteberg. The 5th run was charged to Hatteberg, so he finished his line. 2/3, 3 hits, 5 runs. 1-2. Breaking ball, fly ball center should end the inning, or will it? Center fielder didn't get it. He didn't see it, and this game's over. He did not see it off the bat, and that's going to end the ball game because that's a 10-run rule after 5, and that'll do it. It's a triple, and what a way to end it. As Retif Wallace walked it off here by the score of 12-2 here, as they put up 10 runs in this inning. So Retif Oil goes bombs away in the 5th inning to put this game away as they rout Calcutta goal in the end by the score of 12-2 here this evening at John Ryan Stadium. As, again, you don't see many 10-run innings, and they can put a 10 on the board, which is hard to do on a scoreboard, right? But they find a way to get that done here in this stadium with this outstanding scoreboard and ballpark that they have. What a way to end it on an RBI triple,
Baseball fans,
as it turns
just a
out,
reminder,
by Logan Nelson.
You can watch
So
this
the story of this game was all about extra base hits.
And always
So
free
amazing.
at Crescent City
So 12-2 final as Retif Oil remains undefeated and in first place in Crescent City Sports Prep Summer League. They got it done here in great shape. So a victory here tastes sweet for Retif Oil. And we will now send it down to Coach Danny Ream momentarily with head coach Kenny Goodland and our star of the game, Joe Bosco. Danny, take it away.
All right, Ken, thank you. Down here with Joe Bosco. 2 for 4, 2 triples, 4 RBI. Heck of a day at the plate.
Sir, thank you.
So it was kind of back and forth for a little while, and then you guys really showed your muscle right there in the last inning to get the 10-run rule.
That's what good teams do, yep. Got our pitches and did what we needed to do.
What was the key to those 2 triples today?
Well, you know, I'm in the 3-hole, so I know I'm going to get pitched a little bit backwards. So just kind of being selective, having good pitch selection, waiting on my pitch, and when I get that pitch, drive it.
Well, great job. You had a plan at the plate, Ken, and did a great job today. I'm going to go ahead and get Coach Goodland in here. So I thought y'all swung the bats really well, and kind of felt like you should have a little bit more of a lead than you did. Then as the game got going, just going through your lineup over and over was really taxing on them, and y'all kind of broke it open late.
We've been swinging it pretty well this summer. I agree, and I thought we played some defense early who now allowed some innings on their end. We had 2 big double plays, one and another good play. I thought defensively we held in. We had a little bit of a hiccup with the pitching, where he had to get out of the funk, and he did a good job. Calvin McGee did a good job coming in and getting out of a bad situation in the second inning. And the third inning, I thought he was rolling, and we really need to see that out of Calvin. He's got a bright future here. We're looking really for him to step into that role and take care. And like you said, offensively, have to keep peppering it. Logan Nelson going to be a sophomore, bright future. The kid's got and he's just got confidence. And we have confidence in him. Him and Bosco right there. Good night.
A lot of hustle plays, too. Serio, Delat, brothers, guys that can run a little bit, and big-time hustle plays kind of kick-started things, too.
Absolutely. When you get out of that double play ball, you know, and get to second base, the last ball to left field right there, that's a, like you said, that's a good play to set the tone right there. Getting a little bit of a crooked number and just putting pressure on them. That's what we preach and do, and it doesn't always happen. It's great to see it work.
And your big inning right there happened after a drag bunt with 1 out, nobody on.
Yeah, Michael Brothers, I mean, he's pretty fast.
You can run. All right, Ken, a big win for Retif Oil. Back up to you.
Okay, Danny, thank you very much. Well done. A 12-2 victory here for Retif Oil over Calcutta Gold. Let's pass along the numbers in this one for the homestanding Retif Oil Jesuit Base Club. 12 runs, 9 hits, 2 errors, and 5 left on base. And for Calcutta Gold, it was 2 runs, 4 hits, no errors, and 8 men left on base. The winning pitcher, Calvin McGee, went 4 innings, 2 hits, 1 run earned. McGee is 1-0 now on the Crescent City Sports Summer League circuit. Losing pitcher for St. Paul's, Griffin Hatteberg, taking the loss in relief. And he is 0-1 with the defeat. The game took an hour and 47 minutes to play. And it was a 12-2 victory for Retif Oil in 5 innings over Calcutta Gold. Game ending via the mercy rule. A 10-run mercy rule after 5 innings here. And who would have thought that when this game was tied 2-2 going to the bottom of the 5th? It's anybody's game, and all of a sudden it's a run rule game. I mean, that's crazy the way things changed very quickly in this one, and it can happen really quick, especially when you have trouble throwing strikes. And that was part of the problem, obviously, in that particular inning, is the inability to be able to throw a strike really did in St. Paul's Calcutta Gold in that particular inning. They just struggle to throw strikes, and when you have trouble throwing strikes, things are going to happen. They're going to make things difficult for you, and that's exactly what happened there to make this a runaway game. A game that looked like it was a jump ball game turns into a rout, 12-2. You don't see 10-run innings very often from good teams, but you saw that here this evening for Retif Oil. Danny Ream rejoining us now. And Danny, as I mentioned, I mean, it's a 2-2 game. I mean, we're thinking this is a jump ball game, and all of a sudden we're jumping out of our seats. The game's over. A 10-run inning. You don't see that very often.
No, that one got out of hand pretty quickly. Jesuit caught a ton of momentum there and just ran with it, started hitting balls all over the place. The St. Paul's outfield, as the game went on, started having some trouble reading balls here in this park, and that's a dangerous thing with the size of it. If it gets away from you, guys are running for days. But no, Jesuit, I thought, swung the bats extremely well today. They show some speed on the bases, guys with big-time hustle plays. So I think Coach Kenny Goodlet's got to be pretty pleased with what he saw. And then on the mound, he saw some good performances too. McGee probably wished he wouldn't have, plunked as many guys as he did, but he's a guy that's not afraid to throw in the inner third, so that's kind of part of doing that. Got a lot of ground balls on the infield. He got some big double plays turned to get him out of jam. So as Coach Goodlet said in the post-game comments, those double plays that got him out of those early jams was the reason that they were in position late to do what they just did and get a 10-run rule.
No doubt, and as a result, Retif Oil jumps into first place in the Crescent City Sports Prep Summer League at 7-0, a half game ahead of Malcolm Abdinez, the Rummel-based team, which was rained out yesterday. So 7-0 on the season. And just taking you back in this league before we let you go tonight, year one of the Crescent City Sports Prep Summer League, Retif Oil won the championship, and then they won the state championship in prep the very next school year. In year two, Lutcher-based Cypress Physical Therapy won the Crescent City Sports Summer League, and they won the state championship the following spring in prep. Last year, Brother Martin-based K's for Kids won this league, and they went to the Division I Select State Championship Series this year. Did not win, but I think what that tells you, Danny, is this league is serving exactly the purpose that we set out to accomplish: development. Those young players getting a chance to play. Some of these kids did not start in prep this year, but they're getting the chance now, and that's setting them up for the next school year.
It absolutely is, and it's serving its purpose, as you said. It's giving the coaches a chance to evaluate what they have coming back for next prep season. It gives them a chance to start building chemistry within the roster for next prep season, and they can take the momentum that they build in the summertime and carry it on and just kind of pick up where they left off. And that's some very impressive points that you just made about what the league champions have done in the following year. And that's what this is all about. It's showing you who is next. It's showing you the future of these programs. Teams like ours with Gibbs Construction, we take the seniors after they graduate and get them ready for college baseball. That's what they're looking at. That's what they need to do in the summertime. And then these high school programs need to do what they're doing in the Crescent City Sports League, and that is work with their younger players in next year's varsity roster. So it's a best of both worlds, and you guys should be commended for the great job that you've done and the commitment that you've made to summer baseball in New Orleans.
Harrison Simeon will have your game story for you later this evening at Crescent City Sports. You can watch the replay, always free, through CrescentCitySports.com. It lives forever, and as we get set to close, we always tell the story about that memorable game here in 2012. We did the very first game against Holy Cross, and then you did that 6-hour marathon game here. And Gibbs Construction is one of our sponsors, and when you walk into Larry Gibbs' office, he's got his big laptop, and what is the cover shot on his laptop? It's his son Emerson pitching in that game against Rummel that night. It says everything about what we do here and how much we enjoy it.
Absolutely. That was something I will never forget. I remember you were on the road to do a voodoo game.
Yes, sir.
You were able to go do the voodoo game and then get back to the hotel and see the end of the Rummel Jesuit game. But that was a special night. All ended on a base hit to left field and waved that run around, and everybody could kind of exhale and get to go home.
And we're going to exhale now because we're done here. Danny, it's been a blast.
Yes,
thanks for being here, man.
Glad I could make this one. Sneaking it in.
They got it. Thanks to our crew. These guys do a great job. We're so thankful to have them with us. Thank you, guys. And again, you can read Harrison's story a little bit later this evening. And again, we'll update the standings by tomorrow for you. Go to CrescentCitySports.com. It's where you get it all. We have all the standings for you updated tomorrow morning, so make sure that you check it out. Danny, thank you. It's been a pleasure, man.
I enjoyed it. Thank you, Ken.
Thanks to everyone for joining us tonight. And as always, we remind you to go to CrescentCitySports.com for your stories every day on everything, college, pro, prep, you name it, we've got it. For Danny, I'm Ken Trahan saying thank you for joining us this evening. And be a good sport. God bless you, one and all. Reminding you that our final score was Retif Oil 12, Calcutta Gold 2. Thank you for joining us. God bless you, one and all, and so long. Until next time.